Good morning. We're breaking into your streaming coverage with an LAPD pursuit, and it appears to be a traffic vehicle. Scott Reif is in Air 7. Scott, what an unusual sight to see a bunch of cones and LAPD chasing this pickup truck.
Yeah, Philip, and it came back stolen. Now, we believe this started in the Hollywood area. LAPD's behind the vehicle. We're in the Newhall Pass. It looks like we're on the 5 northbound and now on the 14 northbound. It's a traffic management vehicle. I'm not sure if that's just contracted to the DWP or to, I should say, Caltrans, trafficmanagement.com. More than likely, it's an independent company. We're not sure exactly if there's more than one person on board. Can you push in, Rob? It's a little difficult to tell. We just got overhead. I don't really see anybody in the passenger side. So it looks like one person. The window, the front window, seems to be a bit tinted. And you could sell all the gear that they put out on the roadway when we have an accident, things like that, sort of rattling around in the back. So it came back stolen. LAPD is overhead. We're on the 14 freeway, traveling northbound up into the Canyon Country area, coming up on Newhall Avenue. And basically, we've seen this vehicle travel a little faster than the speed limit, but not too erratically. So more than likely, they're going to switch this off and give this to CHP at some point in time. But you can tell the SkyMap's not quite caught up. The speeds aren't that high. They're probably going to be around that, 70 to 80 miles an hour. A little faster than the flow of traffic on the freeway. And looking ahead there's no congestion. There's no volume up ahead. It looks like to be able to continue on the freeway without any delays all the way up, Acton, Palmdale. There doesn't appear to be much traffic in this area headed northbound this time of the morning.
Well, Scott, I mean, one of the things that you think of is that it might just be somebody that got in it and just started driving. But it also is somewhat curious that you've got to be careful with this vehicle because all that debris and, it just does seem like the person's just driving away from them. So it's at any point were they just in tracking mode where they just kind of were watching and just letting this person drive?
Yeah, I believe for a time there they were in tracking mode, and that looks like a CHP vehicle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it did kind of look like it, yeah.
Instead of LAPD. Yeah, and LAPD has the helicopter overhead, and it was LAPD originally on this pursuit, and now they've handed it off. So we've seen this so many times in the past, Philip and Colleen, when they go into different jurisdictions, they'll change their demeanor. For a time, they were just on tracking mode. They backed off on surveillance mode, if you will, with just the helicopter overhead. But now CHP looks like they're right behind him. Can you open up a little bit, Rob? We'll see how many patrol cars are actually behind. And it looks like he's coming awfully close. Push back in once again. That's way too high to do anything like a pit maneuver. The speeds are too high for that. That would really cause a problem. Could endanger people on the freeway here. But CHP has one unit right behind the truck at this point in time, and there's a helicopter overhead.
Well, and it almost appeared to me like he was, because you said you were having a hard time seeing into the cab. And sometimes if it's safe, they could pull up and just kind of peek into the cab just to get some information, yeah? Just to kind of take a look and see if there's somebody else in the cab.
Yeah, no, there's different strategies, and that could be the case. A lot of times what they do is just say radio up front, and then they get a vehicle on the side of the roadway to get a really good look at who's inside that vehicle. Sometimes you'll see the patrol car speed up and go in front of the vehicle. A lot of times, though, that really makes the driver, the suspect driving that vehicle, start driving more erratically. If we open up a little bit more, you'll see these LAPD helicopter possibly in the shot, but you see two CHP patrol cars. Yeah, it's a little further back, but it's kind of too hard to get to. And so at this point, we're on the 14 northbound. There's almost no traffic headed northbound all the way up in Acton. I can see into Acton at this point, not all the way into Palmdale. And we're seeing a little bit higher than the speed limit, but we haven't seen the vehicle make any abrupt turns or anything like that. It seems like they have control of the vehicle. So at least initially, it doesn't look like they're, under the influence of drugs or alcohol, at least from the way they're driving the car. And as you mentioned, it could have been someone who jumped in this vehicle and hopped in it and took off from, some street closure in the Hollywood area. It's just hard to say. We've seen that happen several times, though, in the past.
So basically, this person was on the 5 at one point, and then now on the 14. Yep. And as you're heading at the 14, there's a long way to go before there's really anywhere to head from here. As I'm looking at the map, Scott, I mean, you could go way up into Palmdale and Lancaster area before there's just anything. So this could be a long playing chase here.
It certainly could, and I don't think they'll intervene and try and stop it on the freeway in any way. You know, right now it doesn't appear that this suspect is endangering the public, driving a little bit faster than the speed limit, staying in one lane, really not trying to swerve in and out of traffic. And as you mentioned, it could go on for a long, long time because I don't see any delays at all. On the 14 North, and of course, you know, up through Palmdale and up into Lancaster, we're not going to have a lot of volume this time of the morning. Most of it's southbound, and even on the southbound side, it's just sort of thinning out at this time. So at this point in time, I think they're just going to be content to follow along. At some point, the suspect's going to come to their senses, either try and make a run for it on foot, or they're going to try and just pull over, or they're going to run out of gas. And with the helicopter overhead and the patrol car right behind, I don't think they're too concerned about this causing any issues to the public. That's always a concern. We see so many horrible pursuits at high rates of speed, and someone running into another person, killing an innocent person. But right now, I think they're just going to be content to follow along and see how this goes.
Yeah, this first came to us around 10 o'clock this morning, a little bit earlier, around Hollywood Way in the Burbank area. It was on the northbound 5 at that point. Not sure what this vehicle was doing. Initially, we kind of thought it might have been a Caltrans vehicle, but it was not. It appears to be a third-party traffic assistance vehicle, and they
What does that mean, Jay?
they just had tried to pull him over. It came back as stolen, so this person just took off, went north on the 5, and then onto the 14, as we've seen. But again, this came back as a stolen vehicle on the 5, then took off to the 14, as Scott has told you. And so now we're just kind of looking along, and Scott, as we've seen, I mean, it's going faster than they should at 75 miles an hour, but that's freeway speeds. And that northbound side, there's just nothing in the way. Well, where are they now on the 14? I mean, how far along have they? They've gone past Agua Dulce, past Acton, or?
No, we're south of that. We're still leaving Canyon Country.
Okay.
We just came up on Sand Canyon Road, and you've got to go another, I don't know, 8 to 10 miles, and then you're going to come into Agua Dulce, and then you go further, and then you're into Acton, and then you go around the bend, and you come down the hill, and you're into Palmdale. So we've got a stretch to go, but the suspect's doing just a little bit faster than the flow of traffic. The speed limit's 65, but when there's nobody on the freeway, a lot of people, you know, are doing 70, 75 at sometimes. And so the flow of traffic is right around the speed of what the suspect is doing. And that's good because you don't see extremely high rates of speed, and then you don't see the suspect swerving in and out of traffic, trying to get around people. But as we've seen so many times in the past, Philip, that can change pretty quickly. Just looks like the driver, kind of hard to tell. You might be able to tell a little better than me if it's a man. It appears to be, but it's not much of a shot there. Yeah. And we are seeing higher speeds, and that happens a lot of these pursuits. You know, it'll be calm for a little bit. The suspect will get desperate, and then all of a sudden they'll start driving erratically, and they'll really cause a danger to people out on the freeways and then on the surface streets when they get out onto those surface streets. So hopefully the suspect will just give themselves up. They'll realize this is pretty much a futile event. They're going to get caught eventually and pull over. But right now we don't see an immediate threat to the commute. It's not causing any delays. As you mentioned, this could go on for a long time. We're just now starting to get into what would be the southern portion, leaving Sand Canyon up into the Agua Dulce area.
It is one of those deals where you wonder the motivation of just a person who would be, now you've got a pretty good shot there to look in, but the motivation of somebody who would just get into a third-party traffic vehicle and then drive away, clearly a stolen vehicle at this point, but they're just driving now, and so CHP's behind them, and the way they're driving, as you mentioned, Scott, the good news in this is that the commuters at this rate of speed might not even notice that there's a chase going on. The way he's approaching the traffic, it's not going to startle anybody other than the fact that you're seeing CHP officers follow somebody like this. And while they seem to close a little bit here, but seeing this type of vehicle with all that stuff in the back, that might be a bit of a surprise driving at 80, 90 miles an hour on the freeway. But overall, it's just a person driving on the freeway with a couple of CHP officers behind them.
Correct, and the CHP officers behind them are sort of shielding anybody from coming up, trying to go a little faster. I mean, every now and then you will see somebody who's just nuts. They'll come up on a pursuit like this. They'll get into the right lane and they'll go past the officers, right? If the pursuit is around the speed limit, they may go 70, 75, and actually pass them. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
In this case, though, everybody's staying back. The suspect's doing enough as far as the speed is concerned, up around close to 75 miles an hour. If you open up out of this shot a little bit, Rob, you'll see there's another patrol car behind the initial patrol car there, and then we haven't seen any other vehicles come up and try and pass, because it's crazy. In the past, I've seen that, and it just sort of shook my head and said, really? You're going to come up, there's a pursuit going on, and you're going to try and pass them on the shoulder or in the left lane? But right now, we don't see anything like that. I think the speeds of the suspect are enough that nobody's really going to catch up with them. At least that appears to be the case right now. And yeah, it's just a waiting game now, Philip. It's not a danger to the freeway. It's not obstructing traffic. And I think they're just going to stay in surveillance mode for the most part with the helicopter ahead. We're still in a pursuit, but they are surveilling them from the air. Say again, Jay?
Yeah, sometimes Scott will be talking to our assignment desk. So if you'll bear with us as we stream this, Scott has about 3 or 4 different people talking to him. So Jay is at our assignment desk. So when he has a question, he will be talking to Jay. But to Scott's point, I've actually seen people try to pass traffic breaks, which is always an interesting thing. When CHP is trying to actually have a traffic break, you'll see people try to drive around them, which is fascinating. So, Scott, you had something to say from Jay.
So, Jay was telling me they're going to put a spike strip out at Santiago Canyon Road. And so we are going to look for that. I'm looking at it right now, and I don't see the spike strip set up yet. And it'll be interesting. The patrol car has to try and hide, and then they have to try and throw out that spike strip in order to try and get in front of that vehicle. Now, the more traffic you have on the freeway, the harder it is, no question about that. And if the suspect stays in the far left or the far right lane, it's much easier for them to get the spike strip out as well. What they don't want to do is just throw it out there and then let another vehicle run over it. So it helps when there's a break in the traffic. I don't see them set up quite yet. I think that was just Santiago Canyon Road. If we crossed, it's Agua Dulce Canyon Road. So I think it's the next one further north. So we have a ways to go. And once we get to Santiago Canyon Road, it looks like they're going to try and throw out a spike strip.
Yeah, that is, it's interesting that you said that, because the moment you said that there's the possibility of a spike strip, I was thinking that does seem odd with as much. I mean, it's not a heavily traffic day, but there's enough out there that, boy, you could certainly hit a different car.
It's not going to be easy, let's just put it that way. Spike strips on the freeway are challenging because the suspect usually sees the officers and they usually swerve around it. And, it'd be one thing if there's no traffic out here, but there's just enough volume that it's going to make it pretty difficult. But it sounds like they're going to give it a shot once you get a little further north along the 14 here. That would put an end to it pretty quickly. Obviously, they certainly don't want anybody to get hurt. They don't know what's going on with the suspect. We don't know if they know who the suspect is. They may. A lot of times they have a lot of information that we just don't have. I'm sure they've run that vehicle back. It came stolen. They ran it through the company. If it's somebody just hopped in it and took off, so the company would be able to give them that information. There may be some surveillance cameras from where the suspect was stolen, and they can start to get a look there to see exactly who they're dealing with. It's a wanted suspect. And they might get an idea exactly, a little bit more information. The more information they have, the better they can really handle a pursuit and the strategy on how they may want to stop it. Santiago Canyon Road is coming up here, if I'm not mistaken. We're not far from that. It's just around the bend, maybe a mile and a half. So we'll see. And I'm looking out there. I don't see any patrol cars set up yet, but they may come out last minute. They're talking to the patrol cars over the radio from the helicopter. And so that's how they'll try and coordinate this. But when the suspect stays in the center lane about the speed of traffic, it makes it really difficult to make a spike strip effective. We'll see how it works, but it usually doesn't work too well on the freeway.
Yeah. So would you be able to see any officers ahead as they give it a shot, or are you blocked in some way for that?
No, I can't quite see it yet.
Okay.
Santiago Canyon Road is actually a little ways, but now they're talking about another off-ramp here, possibly Ward Road. I don't know if Ward Road is an off-ramp for the 14.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
That's just an overcrossing.
Okay. I'm just trying to look at some of the
3 miles away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Philip, these things change by the moment, right? I mean, they're putting together a strategy right now. Probably somebody's saying, let's try the spike strip. Maybe they're saying, give up on it, just follow this vehicle. But I don't see any vehicles, I don't see any patrol cars in position right now as I look ahead, 3 miles up ahead, to throw out a spike strip. There does appear to be a corner about 2 to 3 miles ahead, which could be Ward Road, and they could be thinking that would be a good spot. So we'll just have to follow it and see.
Well, where is
right
that
now,
in relation to 138, which is Palmdale Boulevard? I mean, that...
we're still 5, 6 miles, maybe
Okay.
7 miles from that. We're just coming up into Aqua Dulce. You just left Canyon Country. We're still coming up into Aqua Dulce. Then once you're through there, you go through that area of Acton, and then once you get through Acton, you make sort of a left turn, if you will, going north, and then you start to come down the hill into Palmdale, and then that's when you hit the 138.
I see. Because
So we have a ways to go
yeah,
for that.
Yeah, it does seem like up in the Palmdale area, there's just so many more exits that, because we're talking about
Okay.
reasonable speeds at for a chase, 75 miles an hour or whatever. But as you said, things can move pretty quickly, and you start getting up on those exits that you're talking about, where they might be able to get a spike strip out on a freeway. That still happens pretty fast. I mean, you can travel a mile in 1 minute or less at 70 miles an hour. And so you're having to make some decisions fairly quickly to try to get a spike strip out, and do it in such a way that the suspect doesn't see it on a freeway where you're not also hitting another vehicle.
Yeah, Ward Road's coming up here in just a moment, so we'll see if they're actually going to try and deploy a spike strip. The freeway here is, what do we have, like 4 or 5 lanes, and it's just going to be difficult with the suspect in the center lane. I mean, you can tell from the volume of traffic, Philip, you're not going to be able to use a spike strip in this scenario. Your officer has to run out there and throw the spike strip out. I mean, there's just enough volume that doesn't seem really possible. Hopefully I don't have to eat my words here in a minute.
Well, the
and
danger
actually
to the
run out into
officer,
freeway
too.
And throw the spike strip. What's that?
Yeah, the danger to the officer for all of those vehicles at 70
yeah.
miles an hour,
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking, just processing it. I don't know how feasible that is, but they're talking about it. That's some of the information we overhear. We're coming up on Ward Road here in just a moment, if I'm not mistaken. So Red Rover Mine Road, I think Ward Road might be the same off-ramp, if I'm not mistaken. But now we're getting into the area, really, of Acton. We're just sort of went through Aqua Dulce. Now there's this little area of Acton before we get up into Palmdale. And you're going to see in a moment there's an overcrossing. And maybe, I don't see anybody yet, but maybe underneath that overcrossing there's a patrol car and an officer. And maybe that's where they'll try the spike strip. But it really doesn't look like, with the suspect in the center lane, that's going to work too well.
Okay, then we can't, from our vantage point, see any officers there. And the traffic does seem to be picking up a little bit in that space. So once you throw the spike strip down, you'd have to get it off of the freeway fairly quickly as well to avoid anyone that is behind this vehicle from hitting that spike strip too. So it is just complicated. And there's a reason, as you mentioned, Scott, why they don't try it very frequently on the freeway. The speeds are much higher.
Sure.
The danger to the officer who's out there trying to put it there, the potential fallout for other vehicles that aren't the chase vehicle here. So it's hard. It's a very real challenge.
Sure. And I think what we're going to see as we continue northbound, if we do, I mean, this could go on forever. We can end up at Barstow, if this vehicle continues. But I think what we're going to see is the traffic volume lightening up. Once you get up through Acton, a lot of folks are taking the 14 northbound. We're seeing them off on some of these off-ramps, and I'm seeing less volume up ahead on the 14 northbound as I look out the window here. So if you have more separation, now I do see a patrol car in the off-ramp, I believe, up ahead. And if you do have more separation, if the volume is lighter, you have more separation between the vehicles, then obviously the spike strip is going to be more feasible. And it looks like they're set up here, right here, if I'm not mistaken, at Crown Valley Road. There you go. There's an officer right there. But, boy, this is going to be tricky. I'm sure they're radioing away if they could just get the traffic to stop. But, it's in the center lane, and I see a bobtail truck. I see a couple other vehicles in the 2 right lanes. Open up a little bit if you would, Robin. Let's just watch the vehicle head towards him. And I think that'll give us a little better perspective on whether or not this is going to work.
Wow.
So right there's the vehicle, and it's going to be pretty tough to run out into the freeway and throw that into the center lane. We'll see. But I don't really think that's going to be possible.
No. Yeah, because,
So
they thought about it.
Just a little bit too much volume. And Jay, are you telling me they're now canceling the pursuit? Really? Okay, yeah. So they weren't going to be able to pull that off, Philip, but they didn't cancel the pursuit. So it's still ongoing. The helicopter is still overhead, but I don't think a spike strip will be feasible. And we're going to be up into the desert here in another 10 minutes or so.
Well, and here's the thing now, though. I mean, he's entering into Palmdale. Or before long, he will. I mean, certainly, as you mentioned, he's still just a little bit south of Palmdale. There is the possibility that he leaves the freeway, leaves the 14 and gets into Palmdale and tries to navigate some of those surface streets. I mean, he has shown no indication to this point, but really, the section of the 14 he was on, there were no spots to get off of the highway. So there's the possibility he might try to get off the highway and try to run away, potentially, if he's to get into Palmdale area. But at this point, we saw that was a great example of what we were talking about, Scott, was the difficulty of trying to throw a spike strip out because there was a box truck coming. There were a couple of other cars that were just making the commute, and all of it was happening at 70 miles an hour. And so you're asking a CHP officer to step out onto the highway and somehow throw that spike strip in front of that truck and also get out of the way of oncoming traffic. It was just impossible. There's no way that was going to happen.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it. I mean, they're going to try it again right here, but as you can tell, I mean, it just doesn't really seem like it's going to be feasible. So, you know, we get a little bit further north, the volume gets lighter. If there's a big enough break in between where the suspect vehicle is and the volume in front of the suspect vehicle, there aren't any cars, and then you come up on an overcrossing, open up a little bit, you got another patrol car that just pulled on, so we have three right behind him, then it might be possible, but with the way the vehicle's in the center lane with the amount of volume we have right now, I don't think that's going to be the case. And, you know, there's no rhyme or reason to these things. We follow them sometimes, and the suspect will drive like this, and then all of a sudden, they'll just go crazy. They'll start driving with reckless abandon, and then all of a sudden we'll see some where they're driving, extremely dangerously, and then they'll slow down, and then they'll stop, and they'll get going again. So trying to guess what they may do as far as getting off into Palmdale or getting off on the 138, I mean, it's nearly impossible. I haven't really seen, any rhyme or reason to this. I'm sure they're trying to figure out if they can come up with some idea who this individual is. They've got the other patrol cars that were in front. I'm sure they've got a real good look at the suspect. Whether or not they're able to identify him or not, that's unclear. There's another patrol car up ahead. There's a chance. There's a little bit more of a break here. Open up out of your shot.
That's one thing I was wondering,
Rob,
Scott.
And you see the break. Well, you see the break in between the suspect and that vehicle. And then now that you're going to see a CHP officer, and if he can run out behind that vehicle, as that suspect vehicle gets closer to the white car, it becomes less feasible. But here's the officer right in your frame in a moment. And boy, I tell you, there was enough space there for a moment that it looked like it might work, and then now it looks like you just weren't able to pull it off.
But see, Scott, I'm wondering that because they're pulling more CHP officers out onto the freeway. If they can pull off like a moving traffic break of some sort and keep the commuters behind and create some gap behind him, then maybe they could throw it out there.
But it doesn't have anything to do with the vehicles behind him.
It's the one in front.
It has everything to do with the vehicles in front of him.
Right, for sure.
If stopping the vehicles behind him isn't going to help, because the suspect's driving at the speed limit or a little faster than the speed limit and coming up on these vehicles, we're not getting separation. Now, there's a pretty good separation right now, but the suspect is driving a little faster than the car in front of him. So to try and pull off making a stretch of freeway that is open, and to try and do that in front of them is extremely difficult. I don't think they'll be able to pull that off. So right now, they're just at the mercy of this suspect and the traffic flow of whether or not they get a big enough break in between the suspect and the next vehicle if they'd have time to get out into the freeway and throw that spike strip. And from what we've seen, that doesn't appear to be the case. Now, we're coming up on the 138 right now. We're coming up on Pear Blossom, and so this is where you make that turn. If you've ever made the turn here, you're coming down into the Antelope Valley. You're headed up into Palmdale and up towards Lancaster. And at least for now, it looks like the suspect stayed on the 14 and didn't get off onto the 138.
Okay, Scott, I'm going to let everybody in on a little bit of housekeeping here. We are coming up on a news break here, so we're going to have to take a pause so that we can give a tease for the Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. newscast that's coming up in about 13 minutes. So we are going to break away from our streaming coverage. We'll continue to show your picture, but we're going to have to break away for a quick moment, and then we will come back and get kind of ourselves ready for Eyewitness News at 11 a.m. So I'm going to stop here for a moment, let ourselves get ready, but we'll be back.
Copy. Overhead, there's a CHP helicopter here? I don't see one. Yeah, don't worry, Jay. Forget about it. Okay, hold on, Jay. Stop. Chris, yeah, you want a 25-second cut in, is that correct? How far out are we? All right, copy. Somebody's just going to give me a cue. All right. Copy that, minute out. In the right lane slowing. Slow it up here. Copy. I'm Scott Reif at Air 7 over Palmdale. We've been following a pursuit now for about an hour. Started in the Hollywood area. That pickup truck you see right there is a suspect vehicle. Not sure who the vehicle is or what that vehicle is in front. This is the first time it's stopped now on the freeway. CHP is right behind. They have a helicopter overhead. The vehicle did come back stolen. It's been on the 5, the 14, and now we're headed up towards the Lancaster area. From Air 7, I'm Scott Reif, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Scott?
Yeah, moments ago they got the spike strip out. We've been following this for a while out of Hollywood, basically on the 5 freeway traveling northbound and then onto the 14 northbound. But at Avenue H, just south of there, it was down to one lane. We're going to try and re-rack the video, but I think they got all 4 tires. It was a successful spike strip thrown out by the CHP. You can tell the right front tire is flat. They go flat slowly, but more than likely this is going to come to an end sometime soon. The vehicle is not going to be able to continue to travel too far on the 14 freeway northbound. Avenue G is the next. That offer-up's coming up in here in just a moment. We're traveling out of Palmdale up through Lancaster in the Antelope Valley, and I believe the other tire is flat as well. It looked like the spike strip was really successful, and there it goes. Boy, at this type of speeds, though, this is really dangerous. You see that rim is starting to tilt a little bit. The tire is going to give way. Then it's going to be driving on the rim. Then we're going to see it maybe collapse, and if the vehicle's traveling at too high rate of speed, you can have an accident pretty easily. And right now, bring up the speed tracker. It looks like the speeds are pretty high for a vehicle that has a flat tire. Seen this happen many times in the past. At one point in time, it'll heat up enough to cause a fire. You'll get sparks, and then at some point in time, it'll even catch the engine bay on fire. So hopefully the suspect will just give themselves up. There's no traffic in front of them any longer. I should say there's only one vehicle in front of that vehicle coming up here in a moment, and then there's no other vehicles in the way of the suspect truck there because he's traveling at a slower rate of speed, and then CHP is stopping all traffic from behind. But more than likely, this will be over here in a few minutes.
Yeah, that was an absolute
Here's
perfect.
the video. We just got the video, Philip.
Yeah, that was an absolute perfect spike strip. You'll see it right here. And then just right over all 4 wheels, Scott.
Nice, Rob. Yeah, more than likely the left front is punctured as well. The right rear doesn't appear to be punctured, but it certainly got that one. But boy, bring up the speed tracker. It seems like the speed is really high right now for a vehicle that, I don't see it, but a vehicle, there we go. 70 miles an hour for a vehicle without a tire on the front, that's really high. So I don't think this is going to last too much longer. At some point that could come off, that hub could just come off the axle. And if that happens, we could see a crash. Just hope not. There are no other vehicles in front of this car now. It's slowed down enough so that we're not seeing any other traffic in front of them. The CHP has all traffic from behind stopped. There was a time where a Tesla tried to get in front of the vehicle and slow them down back in the Palmdale area. Good Samaritan, if you will, but certainly ill-advised. And the suspect did have to try and get around that vehicle and slowed for a bit. But then, as you saw moments ago, that successful spike strip took out the tire. And boy, we're still traveling at a pretty high rate of speed, though.
Yeah, and of course we're seeing that this is a very, just in general, this is a very unusual pursuit. This is a traffic management truck. You see all the signs in the flatbed. This is not necessarily a truck that's really good about, you know, agility. It's just a workhorse of a department. And it's incredible to see this driver not pulling over. Scott, I don't exactly know. I've one time driven on a rim, and you have no real control of your driving where you can steer. Is that still the case, would you say, with one of these kind of trucks, or is it because the rim is so wide?
Well, at some point, that is definitely going to be the case. Right now, it looks like it's just holding on. But what's going to happen is it's going to heat up. And once there's no more rubber at all left, then that rim is going to start to spark. It's going to heat up. And at some point, it's going to collapse. And if it collapses at these types of speeds, it's one thing going straight and not moving the steering wheel. Be able to do that. It's another thing trying to turn in a situation like this. But from what I've seen in the past, in situations like this, eventually that rim will heat up, and at some point in time it'll collapse, and then the pursuit is over. But just continuing straight, I think the suspect will be able to do that. Trying to make turns, that's a whole different deal.
And we don't really know what's going on the other side, if that tire is also flat. But you're right, Scott. I've seen them catch on fire.
Could be.
I've seen that vehicle, and it'll get so hot that that right wheel well can actually catch on fire. The rubber can catch on fire. The whole axle will get so hot. And then, you know, then it becomes dangerous for the person who's driving the vehicle. But if that whole element just collapses, then the vehicle just can jackknife. It can cause a real problem for the person who's driving the vehicle.
It's interesting. I covered a pursuit one time of a Range Rover on the rims, an hour. I couldn't believe it. So more than likely, at these speeds, though, that was slow. As you can see, the rubber is completely giving way. Slowly but surely, that rim is going to rub on the concrete. It's going to scratch on the concrete. It's going to heat up. There'll be a lot of friction, and that'll cause a fire. That'll cause sparks, and then that'll spread to the engine bay. But at least for now, going straight at 60 miles an hour, the suspect vehicle is able to continue. There are 4 or 5 patrol cars right behind. There's no issue with traffic in front of that suspect. They're traveling at a speed now where they're not catching up with all the vehicles in front of the individual. Look like a man driving the vehicle like we were before. And now it's kind of a waiting game. We're just waiting to see just how long the driver can continue on this one rim. I don't know if the other side collapsed as well. The spike strip looked pretty successful, so it wouldn't surprise me. I'm really kind of surprised it didn't get the rear tires as well.
That's what I was thinking, by the way. And you're also talking about,
Yeah.
I've been watching the back tires thinking those are going to start deflating. But again, you know, we're just being told we can take a look at that video again, Philip. It was so perfectly executed when the CHP officer deployed that spike strip. And we're looking at it. You can see the video earlier, and right there, boom, unbelievable.
Well, one of the things that made that such a great effort by CHP was how many times, if you were watching with us on our streaming effort, we were carrying this for, approximately 30 or 40 minutes on our ABC7 Los Angeles app. This chase has been going on for roughly an hour now, and CHP had tried several times to create an opportunity to throw the spike strip out. So this is another look. You can see that's they got both front tires gone, but they had tried several times to get in a position where they could do the spike strip, which is very rare on a freeway because of 2 things. 1, the speed of the vehicle, and 2, the traffic. There are so many other vehicles on the road. They didn't want to put the officer at risk, and they also didn't want to damage other vehicles. So to see them be able to get themselves in a position where they got just the chase vehicle and no other vehicles, and execute it so perfectly that they almost got all 4 vehicles, or all 4 tires. In this case, they just got the front, it looks like. That's a great look at the passenger or the driver.
Right
but
there.
there's no rubber on the 2 tires. But that was such a great spike strip execution. It really did do the damage that they needed.
Not about it. But again, you're just saying that there's no rubber, but I can't tell if there is a slight, you just saw that spike strip again. It really is. That is just so well choreographed to just throw it out at that one moment. So rarely do you see all 4 tires get hit and punctured right there. But again, we're looking at this driver, Scott. I'm not sure. It possibly could be a female driver as well. I just can't, from my vantage point, I just can't really tell.
Yeah, we really can't tell from here either. The spike strip, they were fortunate because there was an area on the 14 northbound, I think it was Avenue G, and there was only 1 lane. And once they got down to just 1 lane, they were able to throw that spike strip out. When they tried to do it earlier, further south down in Acton, and you had 4 or 5 lanes and you had some traffic volume, it just didn't work. But now the driver continuing basically in the same lane looks pretty calm considering everything that is going on, and we're just now at a wait-and-see game, if you will, following along this suspect traveling northbound here, the north end of the Antelope Valley. There's a little community coming up ahead, but we haven't seen the suspect have any intention of trying to get off the freeway from the moment that we got overhead on the pursuit. And now the speeds have slowed a little bit, but considering you're on the rim, 65 miles an hour is pretty fast.
It's also important to note, I mean, once this ends, and it will end, people who are going to be traveling northbound on the 14 are going to have to be aware that this is going to shut down traffic for a while, because it could end up in a standoff, or it could just, we don't know how long it's going to take them to clear this vehicle off the road. But it's northbound. What our exit right now, we're 14 and 55, basically Rosemont. So people need to be aware that this is heading northbound on the 14, and it is going to gum things up if you're heading up in that way.
Yeah, we're in Rosemont right now. If we continue north, we're headed towards Mojave. That'll be the next stop. We start thinking about what we're going to do for fuel, and so that could be our fuel stop if it continues. And right now, the vehicle slowed a little bit from what we saw earlier. but it could continue for a while if we don't start to see those rims disintegrate. And, you know, maybe on a heavy-duty truck like this, that may be a 1500 or a 2500. It's hard for me to tell. Is it a Chevy? Yeah, it appears to be a Chevy. You know, possibly they're just built a little stronger, built for towing, that type of things, and is going to be able to hold on for a while. But I'm kind of surprised that rim hasn't given way yet, that it hasn't started to spark and get hot and cause a fire. That could happen. We'll just have to wait and see. But we're headed through Rosemont, 14 northbound, headed up towards Mojave.
Yeah, and again, there's no traffic there, so that is making things much safer for everybody involved. And at some point, the CHP is going to decide, what are we going to do next? Because this driver, we're just going to either follow along and just keep at this speed until the driver actually pulls over. I don't know, Scott, or do they end up, they're going to have to recover this stolen vehicle. Obviously, this is a valuable piece of equipment here with all those signs and everything for this company.
Yeah, they'll recover it. I mean, it depends on what kind of condition it is in when they do recover it. We're headed uphill now, so the vehicle has slowed a bit. But, you know, the 14 is just straight due north. I mean, there's no turns that have to be made, and the suspect still has control of the vehicle. But you do see it slowing because you're going uphill now, so it's a little more difficult to keep that speed.
Well, you know what's interesting is, as you look at the map heading north, there will eventually be a turn when they hit the 58, and they're either going to have to, you know, make an actual left or right, and with that those tires that way, that might be the most difficult thing to navigate at that point, is when they have to actually make a left or a right turn and decide to go left towards Bakerfield, or, you know, somehow stay on the 14 and continue on north. But, you know, there isn't much going north that way. So, you know, that's the hardest thing with no rubber on the tire is turning. And so at some point they might actually be able to do a pit maneuver if they have to slow down enough to make a turn. But they're not going to try a pit maneuver at 60 miles an hour. So if they slow to make a turn, then they potentially could end it in that manner. I mean, how far until they get to that point, Scott? Is that still?
That's a ways. That's a sweeper turn. You know, it's not like you. Yeah, well, I would say it's about 10 miles or so from where we're at right now, maybe a little less. And that's a kind of a sweeper turn.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not like you have to make a hard right or left turn. From what I remember, driving to Vegas, driving up through this way through Mojave, it's sort of a little bit of a turn to the right, or you continue to the left and you go to Bakerfield, as you said. But they are talking about another spike strip, and they'd be able to do that pretty effectively now. And the reason they would be able to is because there's no vehicles that this truck is going to overtake. So you have this entire stretch of freeway to just throw the spike strip out, and there's the CHP officer, so they can get it out there in advance. They don't have to worry. You see it right there.
Oh, it's out there already.
They're just going to pull it. We push back in, Rob. Can you push back in, Rob, to the spike strip? Right there. I think I see it underneath the overcrossing. There it is right there. And when the suspect gets closer, they're just going to pull it. You can hold it right here. I'm talking to the pilot. Why don't you go to the other side? Just keep going. It's going to be hard for us to stay on this side. By the time the vehicle gets there, hopefully we'll be on the other side of the overcrossing. But they're going to, something fell off. So it looks like it's starting to disintegrate. It looks like this vehicle, slowly but surely, is just going to come into pieces on the front end. Keep coming, push your nose over. And we should see this happen. There it goes. So hopefully they got the rear tires now, and if that's the case, that really should stop the vehicle soon.
Yeah, and it's happened really quickly the last time. Those tires deflated so rapidly, but again, it didn't stop this driver from moving in the direction they wanted to go. But it will be interesting. It looks like that the back driver's side tire is starting to deflate already.
Well, one of the things,
possibly.
Yeah, one of the things about the front is it's going down. Yeah, it's going down. One of the things about the front, though, if you think about it, Scott, all the weight in this pickup is on the front. And that's why it's going to disintegrate so quickly. The back, it does have equipment back there, but the engine is in the front, and the back is just some general weight, but it's not the weight of the vehicle. So this will go down, but it's the disintegration of those tires was probably because of the engine and all of that weight that's in the front of that truck.
You see the driver really trying to manage that
What's interesting is how calm the driver is. Now, you see on the steering wheel, making those little movements. Now, the suspect wasn't doing that earlier. I can't tell if it's a man or a woman either. But you can tell now there's a little shaking going on with the steering wheel, so it's getting a little more difficult to control. And now you see, there it goes. The rear tires are going, and open up a little bit because we can see that's flat. I'm just worried this thing's going to flip over, Rob. So
it's
keep
fishtailing.
some perspective here. The speeds are slowing, and I think eventually this will just come to a stop once all four tires, if the right rear is deflated as well, it just won't be able to continue to keep going, and it looks like that's what's happening.
Yeah, and now the situation will be, who is this
Even
suspect
more has
inside?
gone off the
Go to
front.
car.
That was off the front. So now there's just no.
That was the left.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, that was what was left of that left rear tire, obviously, that fell off. And now we have a standoff on the freeway like you were talking about. And in a situation like this, you just hope that the suspect gives themselves up, gets out of that vehicle, push in. We have to be really careful, too, because if the suspect did come out and make any sharp, quick movements or reach for their waistband, officers could open fire. But right now it looks like the suspect, it almost appears to be a woman to me. I can't really tell, but it looks like their arms are out of the vehicle. Their arms are out of the vehicle, and it appears they're complying with the officer's demands at this point. It'll be keep your arms out. At some point in time, it'll be get out of the vehicle, back up to the officers, then face down on the freeway more than likely, and then they'll move in and take the suspect into custody.
Well, the person is also wearing a seatbelt, so they're going to have to actually put their hands at least back in the vehicle to take the seatbelt off. So I hope that they'll relay that information down.
They may be doing that now.
Yeah. So then they'll
try to open the door there.
Try to navigate there. They do seem to be, again, complying.
They're the keys.
Yep.
The keys are out. And now the suspect is coming out of the vehicle. It's a pretty tense situation, but it appears, they didn't even know about the seatbelt there. I would stay on that. It appears that they're so distraught here, so upset about what's going on, they didn't know to release the seatbelt. But now it appears to be a woman. She's out, and she's backing up towards officers. So, nobody got hurt in this. It went on for a long time, and the spike strips were extremely effective. I don't think we'll see a huge delay on the 14 northbound. We're up in the Rosemont area. I think they'll clear it fairly quickly, but right now you can't get by, and so it is a hard closure until they have this cleared away completely.
Yeah, you can see it. This suspect, again, doing everything. Law enforcement saying this was a relatively calm pursuit, and it seems like a pretty calm, being taken into custody. Hopefully, they'll lay down, or officers seem to realize that maybe this person doesn't pose a threat to them.
Well, they'll get her in custody. Hopefully they'll be able to get a tow truck up there, get the vehicle out of the way. Not much in the way of traffic heading 14 northbound. But if you are going in that direction towards Mojave, maybe going to Bakersfield, be aware that you're going to be impacted by that. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We have more breaking news regarding a teacher strike. We'll tell you where that is. We also have Sheriff Luna in-house. So we've got a lot going on for Eyewitness News at 11 a.m.